This is the biggest news to ever come out of US soccer. This is the biggest announcement in US soccer history. It is bigger than Pelé going to the New York Cosmos. It is bigger than even Lionel Messi going to Inter Miami. The USL has officially announced that they will be incorporating promotion relegation into its league system by 2027. Now, there's been a lot of positive feedback on this. There's been a lot of positive reaction from soccer fans all across the country and across the globe. We have been waiting for this for God knows how long. The MLS has been talking about doing something like this behind the scenes for a long time, but it wasn't really viable, wasn't really feasible to do with the MLS, given how much investment it takes to get into the MLS. I have a few talking points to go over about this because we have a lot of expectation, but we're really not sure how this is gonna go in the American market. I'm sure that a lot of you are subscribed to Become Elite. You've probably seen his video on the Division 1 USL series, basically that announcement. I did a similar video. And I just wanted to touch up on some of those points and touch up on some points, both the positive and the negative, of why this could be a great thing. So, quick disclaimer, the promotion relegation system will not be in place until 2027. That is what the USL voted on, as well as that USL Division 1 that they were speaking about. We're not gonna see this change for a little while. First, let's go over the potential pros. First of all, every single game is gonna matter now. From now on, every single game matters because it's the difference between promotion or relegation. That is just it. There's more pressure in these games. So the quality of play will improve. The more pressure there is on athletes, on players, the more quality there will be because they are fighting for their jobs. They are fighting for a town, for a city, a fan base. There's gonna be a lot more pressure on those clubs, on those players to perform, which is a good thing. Another thing is investment. If you want to get promoted, if you want to stay up in the first division, if you want to stay in the league that you're in, it's going to require more investment. More investment means better quality all around, in infrastructure, in stadiums, salaries, player rights, all of that, TV rights. So that's something that could potentially drive the USL forward economically. Relegation also creates a stronger bond with the fans. The fans will feel a lot more part of a community when there is more on the line. There's more on the line, so the fans are more invested as well. And the better the community is, the better the club is, essentially. You see fan bases like Detroit City, for example, where Matt Sheldon is, and you see that fan base. That fan base makes that club. They drive that club forward. So we need more of that in the US. We need way more of that. And promotion relegation provides those huge moments, those huge pressure moments that create that fan engagement. It also can create actually really good rivalries as well. Imagine it's say Indy 11 versus Fort Wayne FC. They're both in the USL Division 1 and they're both in a relegation scrap. They're two teams from Indiana and they're fighting in the very last day in order to not get relegated. And one team beats the other and sends the other team down into the second division. That becomes a huge rivalry moment, and that creates tension, that creates a storyline, and that creates rivalries. And rivalries, as you guys know, derbies are the most important thing in football. Promotion and relegation will bring a lot more eyes into the league because we've never had this before in the United States. It is something unprecedented. It is something huge, especially at the professional level. Now, there's going to be three professional leagues that you can get promoted from or relegated from. And that's huge. And that'll bring more eyes into the sport. More eyes into the sport makes everything better. It makes the money better. It makes the infrastructure better. So those are all the potential positives and payouts for this decision. Now let's look at the negatives, because there is also negatives to this, potential negatives, because we honestly don't know how this is gonna go. So we do need to be cautious. Now, the first thing that I saw that kind of upset me, and Soccer Visa actually mentioned the same thing, so shout out to Soccer Visa, is that the USL 2 is not involved in this, which that doesn't sit right with me. One of the things that I love about the promotion relegation system, whether it's in England or Germany or Brazil, is the potential of a semi-professional team or an amateur team performing well enough or investing enough for them to go up into a professional level. That to me is something that is huge, and it gives more opportunities for these semi-professional players to end up playing in a professional environment and becoming professional players. That means more job opportunities. With this, it kind of doesn't give you more job opportunities. It kind of just stays the same. It's just that maybe there's more teams, but it doesn't guarantee that there's more potential job opportunities or opportunities to be seen by any of these clubs. It is just going up and down, and it doesn't sit exactly right with me. Part of the magic of promotion and relegation is seeing those amateur teams, seeing those semi-professional teams perform well and be able to become professional after a certain period of time. Financially, this could impact the USL quite a lot, because owners, with the threat of relegation, they might not want to invest in the USL, because American markets, they really value security. They really value return of investment. So with a lot of these clubs, there isn't always a good return of investment. You see that with a lot of USL clubs that have popped up and have folded over the past. And not only in the USL, but also Nisa, for example, is the same exact thing, right? So we do have that issue. That problem is presented because we just don't have that strong yet of a soccer culture. So there's not always a good return of investment. And if an owner, or if a conglomerate, or if an investment group is investing into a professional club and they end up going down, that'll decrease the value of the club. And that means that they might pull out, and then a club might have to fold. And it's never a good thing when a club folds. So we have to see how the businessmen, how the investment groups are going to react to this news. Because while it does drive a lot of attention into the league, there is that very big potential downside. One thing that Matt Sheldon mentioned in his video was the topic of the pro league standards that the US Soccer Federation has for a Division 1, for a Division 2, a Division 3. And basically, if a club gets promoted, what's going to happen? Will they have to upgrade their stadium in order to meet the requirements of PLS, or will they have to make their own stadium? What is the process? We don't exactly know what that process looks like yet. I know that most USL clubs are speaking about having their own soccer-specific stadiums, all that kind of stuff, but there's a lot of clubs that still aren't there yet. That could present an issue. However, we also just have to see how much attention that this will drive to the USL. Attention is currency. In anything, attention is currency. And at the end of the day, the biggest fan bases are still MLS clubs. So if MLS sees that this ends up becoming something that is beneficial, will they end up doing the same thing? Will they end up also making promotion relegation? Will they end up buying out the USL? Will they end up, uniting the USL and MLS? Or will they just, capitalism and make a rival type of a system? We're not sure yet, right? We're not sure. And that could present a lot of issues, because that's a lot of high-paying stakes jobs on the line as well. Because what if the MLS adopts the same promotion and relegation system? That takes all the attention away from the USL, and the USL ends up having to fold. There are a lot of potential risks to this move, as well as a huge potential upside. So we have to take this news with a grain of salt, because while there is a huge potential upside, there's also almost just as many negatives that are very much possible as well. That's all for this video. Thank you guys for watching. My name is Hamid Babali. Make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Try to get me to 5,000 subscribers. And I appreciate you guys. All love and peace.